Let's go, baby! Star Wars is back. Mandalorian
Let's
and Baby
go.
Yoda are here to save 2020, hopefully. Well, it's been alright for me, but they're here to make it better. And in my opinion, what a way to start off the season. And today I have
Yeah.
Cameron and Nick on with me, so hopefully you guys. Yep, nice to meet you. It's good to have you on. And major spoilers ahead. Big spoiler warning. Big spoiler warning. We're gonna go through a breakdown of the first episode of season 2 of The Mandalorian. And this is going to be a weekly thing, and if this does well, then some weeks we're going to be doing like a live stream where we live stream the episode live, or it's like a watch along. We're obviously not going to stream the episode because copyright issues, and we don't want any of that. But yeah, it's going to be a weekly thing, and today we're just going to be breaking down episode 1, and I think we're just going to go through a run through about what happens throughout the episode, just clean slate. I think that's easier than going through jagged parts or just mentioning parts here and there. And I think I'll just start us off first of all, and then we'll go through our theories at the end, because obviously we had that big reveal at the end and all that. So there's a lot to talk about.
Juicy.
Yeah, very juicy. But I want to start off from a technical standpoint. I think this is the best looking I've seen Star Wars in what Disney has done. Yeah. Like, I think the wide shots, the cinematography of Tatooine, the location shots are phenomenal. And we'll get to talking about it during the episode in terms of the aspect ratio changing as well, in terms of a familiar, like, big beast in the episode. But in terms of how the story is shot and everything, and how everything pans out from a technical point, I think the show is absolutely phenomenal. From the way it looks, the prosthetics. I don't think there's a single green screen used in terms of like when they're using the speeders. They're actually using a rolling slide. So in terms of that, the practical effects, everything from a technical standpoint, it's some of the best Star Wars I've seen. And I think
that's true.
Yeah, hats off to Disney. I mean, they made this episode feel like a live action Clone Wars episode, honestly. Because same kind of, it's a problem.
True.
Rises midway through the episode, they solve it, and it reminds me of the Xylo episode back in Clone Wars, if being honest. But it had a really good feel to it. It had a really good Disney feel. Like Disney did well with this one. Yeah.
So I guess we'll start off like first scene. We had the recap, obviously, that's fair enough. But we kick off right where we started. Mando's trying to get Baby Yoda back to his kind, and to do that, he's trying to find more Mandalorians. So he goes to this planet. We don't know where it is. We have these little red-eyed creatures. I don't know if it's. I don't know if it's.
They reminded me of Jawas.
Yeah, I don't know if it's Jawas or they're more savage than that, obviously, because we see what happens to the Cyclops.
Yeah, I don't think it is because, they wouldn't be Jawas because he told them he's not on Tatooine there, and we know they're only on Tatooine.
Yeah, so we know he goes to this underground like bit of the planet. It's desolate. You got graffitis, paintings. And he goes sort of to like an underground bar where there's obviously like bedding, there's shifty stuff going on. And then we see the awesome fight scene break out, and Baby Yoda do his little, I'm a head out with the little dip away. Funny. But then he tells him immediately that after the scenes happen, we have a cool fight scene as well. And we see actually gruesome stuff finally for once in Star Wars. Someone gets stabbed and we see it. It's not a lightsaber.
Bit of a throwing knife kill as well.
I'm
pretty sure the guy that gets hit with the throwing knife is the same species as Darth Maul.
Yeah, Darth Maul's larger press. Yeah.
That's how they have the warriors. Yeah, I think he was one of them. When you saw him go down, it was just a
One thing that was interesting as well with that scene was like the last time when he uses they're called the Whispering Angels or something. Those like
the
things
little
on his
missiles.
Yeah. Last time in the first season when he uses them, I think he just uses them on stormtroopers, but he takes that's it. He takes them out completely. Whereas this time when he uses them, it kind of just stuns them all, and then he has to fight them again, which is a bit of an inconsistency. But
but it's good. We're gonna mention inconsistencies. We're not gonna like bait the whole show in glory. Obviously, we're massive fans of like the animated series of Star Wars, and this is hopefully gonna build on that. And we're excited for that, and we love the Mandalorian, but as much as we love it, and we're going to critique, we don't want to talk about the other Disney Star Wars, but as much as we love Mandalorian, it's obviously open to criticism. So, obviously,
I just wanted to point out something as well. I just hats off to Disney for not ruining too much from the trailers. I mean, we saw a lot of trailers bits in this episode, and they meant basically nothing. I mean, we still haven't seen all of the trailer parts, but I mean, like when he's in the like the boxing arena type thing. I mean, you see that scene a lot in the trailer, but they bring it up first thing. You almost
Yeah.
felt like you didn't miss out or spoil anything, and it was
Yeah.
good.
You only
Um,
you only see a couple planets in the trailer. I think you only see the Montcala planet, the water one with the quarry, and even that there's
Yeah.
only a few scenes. There's just like they're just establishing shots. There's nothing too much said. Even most of the quotes in it with either from the first episode where he's like, "Oh, I think it was something to do with the child as well. You shouldn't have brought a child here," and we see that, and we see most of the stuff.
we
Yeah.
already saw that.
I think
And
like
then
aside from the last scene, this whole episode was just like an extended trailer. Like it didn't really add much to the story, but it
Yeah.
looked really good. You
Yeah.
know,
yeah, I
just
feel that.
added.
But
Yeah.
I feel like that's what like how the Mandalorian show pans out in terms of like each episode is its own objective, and he has to get to his next stage. He has to complete another objective or like do a favor for someone to get that favor to lead him on to that objective. If you get what I mean?
Yeah.
Like he has to do
Yeah.
certain things to finally get to his point. And this episode, he obviously he wanted to get the armor. Oh, the key goal was to find the Mandalorian, and we found out, as we all know, it was a fake Boba Fett. His name was Cobb Vanth, played by Timothy Olyphant. If you don't know, he's from Once Upon a Time in Hollywood and the villain in Die Hard 4. I think he's done other stuff, and I can't remember. But yeah, and yeah, we find out like the fake Boba Fett, and obviously when I saw him straight away, I was like, "Nah, this guy's too skinny to be Boba Fett," or like, "It's a dodgy guy. He's an imposter.
Yeah.
He's sus." But
Invented. That, when one of the coolest part of the episodes for me was when they teamed up with the Sand people. I thought you just because you never see them as like anything but just kind of savages and raiders.
Yeah.
Tusken Raiders.
Because we see Anakin clap him up in...
just clap him because
Revenge of the
for
Sith,
his mom. You think they're just completely savage. So I really enjoyed that part and how there was like... They kind of went through the geography of Tatooine a little bit as well when they're pointing at Mos Eisley and this new Mos Pegels that's like off the map, but they couldn't find it. That added a good hint of exploration that would... Even though it's a planet we all know, it felt like an undiscovered planet. And they did well to make it feel weird.
They did a good job at making like Tatooine seem more rural, like in terms of like we're exploring something else of the planet this time. It's not the familiar stuff. Even though we're familiar with the planet and we see Star Wars go back to it a lot, I feel like that I enjoyed this little Mos Pegel I think it's a minery. I think they said
the minor town. Yeah, you said we said that.
Yeah, and then
it was a minor town. Yeah.
Something I didn't really get though is when basically the Empire falls and everyone's happy and they're celebrating, which is a cool scene to watch actually.
How did they record the Death Star blowing up? I was like, they recorded that? I was like, there must have been a live stream going on of the war.
I got Disney Plus out there too. I thought it was a bit odd that the mining, like, although like they were trying to show like the cruelty of like the empty power grab kind of thing. It didn't make sense. The mining would just kill everyone in the bar. Like to work or something. But I thought it was a bit odd. They just like massacred them
because he said they're gonna be. He said they ended up being slaves or something anyway. So it's like you're killing half your.
Yeah.
That also doesn't explain why it was taken off the map. Like it wasn't abandoned. Like everyone didn't die. Like you know how they're like, oh, it's not on any maps or anything like that. Like it was still a town that would have like it just had different ownership basically. You know, like it still would have had imports and exports. And different people coming in and out, but they were like, no, it's not here. It doesn't exist.
There was no reason for it to not exist. That's so true. I don't think of it like that. But yeah, I mean, didn't they export mining goods now when they're talking about the crate dragon stealing the goods?
Yeah.
So why
that's true.
they export when no one knows where they are?
I think also they were saying it kills the Banthas as well. So they're talking about that. I think that in terms of like their stock as well, in terms of that.
Yeah,
but I'm not sure. But like going back onto. Oh yeah, go on.
Okay, yeah, sure. I just wanted to bring up the Banthas and also the Tusken Raiders. The quality is like of them as well. I know before you were talking about like the quality of like the scenes and like the sets and everything, but also like how well they've like made the costumes.
Yeah,
and
the
everything
production design, costuming, prosthetics is amazing, fantastic. Like,
and they were like really not scared to show it off. Like in the movies, they purposely would only show like zoomed out shots of like the Banthas and stuff like that. Whereas like now at the Tuskens as well. Now at the Tuskens, like they give you that full like view of like that zoomed in shot of his face, and you can see like where the goggles like meet the rest of the face coverings, and like the Banthas, you can see like the wool and like the individual hairs. I found that pretty interesting. The stuff that's as old as like original trilogy, like it's cool to finally see it. Like
they use CGI as a last resort, in my opinion, in this one. That's what I love about it.
Yeah.
And then going back now, we have obviously he tells him that it's a Mandalorian on Tatooine, so he goes back, and then we have what we've talked about now. He goes to the village, sees Cobb Vanth, they have a little nice Mexican standoff, and then he tells him about Baby Yoda, and then Mandalorian responds straight away where he's like, he's seen worse. He's like, Baby Yoda's been through the walls.
Yeah, that was a good line.
But yeah, so we have the little Mexican standoff, and then when he said there's a Mandalorian, I didn't expect it to be that type of person. I expected it to be Bo-Katan from Rebels and Clone Wars. But then obviously he spoke and it was a male. And I still love this character, Cobb Vanth. I think he's such a cool character. Like, nice little introduction. But then as well, when we saw...
So I was just going to say, that broke the tension well when he took his helmet off, because it's such like a sacred thing that you don't take the helmet off.
Yeah. He like didn't care.
Places it on the table and he's like, I bought it.
You're not Mandalorian. But then
whose armor is that?
That's Boba Fett's armor.
Oh yeah.
It is Boba Fett's armor, right?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
And then we see when we're introduced to the beast straight away, the Crate Dragon, as we later find out. Straight away I thought, as you were saying before, Cameron, the episode in Clone Wars, and then I thought of the episode in Rebels when they were hunting down the beast with Rex, Wolf and Gregor when they needed it for food.
Yeah.
But then that's what I thought that it was. And straight away, when we see the scenes, and they built an interesting dynamic with the Tusken Raiders. I sort of liked them. They were quite humorous in the episode. It was funny. They exchanged dialogue, quite witty. They made them entertaining and a bit useful in terms of just like fodder, I guess. And then we had that one scene where, sort of similar to Jurassic Park, they set up the Bantha, and then the Tusken Raider gets completely devoured, and then they go back again next time. They leave old mate there as well, not telling him what happened to the other guy. And then obviously the plan doesn't go
other ways. That was funny.
And then the plan doesn't go to usual, and then we have this massive reveal of the Crate Dragon, and I think as well the CGI is such a step up from the first season. And you can tell off the success of the first season, they just pumped money into the budget, and you see that the Crate Dragon looks fantastic.
Yeah, it does look good.
Yeah.
I think
it's a good way to start off the season.
Yeah, the thing with the Crate Dragon that was a bit wish-washy for me was just like, they obviously weren't going to like kill it with that plan. You know what I mean? Like, it just never looked like it was going to work. I mean, the plan was never for Mando to go in with a bantha full of explosives, which is also like, why did he still have explosives?
Also, how come that wasn't like the start plan? Like,
you're
right.
You just knew away that it was never going to work.
We see that a lot in the live action, not live action, sorry, even the animated Star Wars, like Rebels and Clone Wars. They always have a plan, and then the plan never goes to work, and then they improvise or think of something. But like, I let it go for this one, like, because like I was so captured in this, like the way the episode looked, and there wasn't too much wrong in terms of story wise. It was pretty straightforward to follow. There wasn't many plot holes, I guess. But in terms of as well the cinematography and the aspect ratio changes, you can tell that it's shot on a different lens or camera when the the Crate Dragon came out, and you see the widescreen zoom as it's coming out, and then as it's just destroyed, you see the screen compressed back down, and I think that was an amazing scene. I think the TV I was watching on helped as well, but
that's true.
I think that was like quick wrap up of what happened. Baby Yoda didn't do much. He was just there to look cute, and he looked cute as usual.
He watched and looked cute.
Yeah.
I actually thought that Baby Yoda in one of the scenes was going to have some sort of force connection.
Yeah, with the two fighting things in the wrestling match. It looked like for a second.
Yeah. He was going to like
one killing the other or something.
Yeah, to like maybe I thought that would have been a cool twist. So basically, he was going to bet the armor. I mean, then it would have been like he can understand what he was saying, but maybe he would like stall the fight so he'd win. Yeah. But I was saying I thought maybe that when the dragon got slain, the Crate Dragon got slain, the Baby Yoda would have like felt like a connection to the, because you know how I know in Rebels a lot of the time that I'm trying to remember his name, the one that Kanan talks to.
Bendu.
Yeah.
Have
such like a connection, and he's like this big beast animal. So I'm thinking maybe like the Force would also like kind of intertwine with this Crate Dragon, but not the case.
I think we've wrapped up completely like the synopsis. Not the synopsis, basically break down what happens throughout the episode and the key points. But the reveal at the end, that's the big one. We see a wide panning shot of Mando on the speeder. He's got the armor. He's succeeded. And then we see this bold dude in the looking, and we're like, I'm like, who's this? And then turn around, it's Tamora Morrison. I'm like, that's Boba Fett. It's gotta be.
Yeah. I mean, especially because it's his armor, right? It's got to like 100 be him.
Yeah.
It's
if you
good that they
guys,
brought him back because both of the Fett's deaths have been very underwhelming. Because one gets his head chopped off from Mace Windu, and the other just gets like eaten by that weird monster.
Yeah, the Sarlacc, I think.
Sarlacc
pit.
So just to clarify, that is the guy. That is like the actor for all the clones and stuff in the movies.
Yeah, that's Tamora Morrison. He plays the clones. He plays Jango Fett in the prequels, and he's all the clones in the prequels.
Right.
Obviously, he's not Boba Fett in the original trilogy, but it makes sense that his son Boba Fett's going to look exactly like him because of the clone thing. Yeah.
So that means he's either Boba Fett or he's a clone.
Yeah. I've heard some people say it's clone, but I think this morning people were saying on Twitter that the Disney license for Boba Fett got renewed.
Well, I don't even think it can be a clone, right? Because basically the clones on Camino were like given stuff to like age quicker, right? And that's why Rex gets old so quickly. And Rex is like old in Rebels, but this is kind of set after Rebels, right? So he would have to be extremely old. And even though he is getting on the old side, he would be like dead.
That's true. And
so
as well,
it's more than because Boba Fett was just a child during the Clone Wars, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah,
so
and also that also shows as well, now that I think about it, the fact that, because that armor doesn't look like it's been repaired, which means that that's like, obviously, if his armor can survive like
it's
the
Beskar.
Sarlacc,
it's Beskar.
Whatever. Yeah, so if his armor could survive it, like that means that it protected him when he fell into there as well.
Yeah.
Which is probably that's probably the direction they're taking.
You can tell when Cobb Vanth was with the Jawas in their ship, the rolling tank thing. When he saw the armor, you can tell the armor's worn down, beaten down. So it's not like crystal clean or like perfect.
That means it hasn't been repaired, which means like but that also means that because it wasn't broken either, you can assume that like his head didn't get crushed or whatever, for example,
Right. Yeah. I was going to say, I'm just curious to see where they're going to go next episode.
100%. I'm so keen to see where they go because
I don't know if they're going to bring up Boba Fett instantly and kind of go back to how he got. I don't think they'll do that just yet. I think they'll let him linger in the background and then maybe like 2-3 episodes on the track, he'll pop back up in an unexpected moment.
I'm hoping they work together. I don't want to see like a rivalry between them. Hopefully they establish some sort of like connection or in terms of like, I don't know, they're both Mandalorians.
Exactly.
Boba Fett's been through the Clone Wars. He's been with the Jedi. He's seen what they've done. He's been through the wars. Like, he's seen everything. So hopefully they can relate on a certain points of that. And I think Boba Fett will lead him maybe to, obviously, Yoda's species. Or then, as we see in later episodes, we don't know what's going to happen yet. So that's the good thing. I think the trailers have showed nothing. And it's left it so open that...
If I had to guess, I'd guess the opposite, that he's going to be like an opponent, like maybe not a villain, but not, because I don't know, like you don't get too like he doesn't it's not often he makes like friends 2 episodes in a row, you know what I mean? Like he made friends with all the people in Tatooine on this episode and like even the Tuskens, really. So I don't think he's going to go around making too many allies. I think if I had to guess, I think this guy's going to be a villain or something.
I'm hoping they don't kill him off. Hopefully they use him wisely. But we'll see what they do. And I obviously I think the 8th episode this season, or one of them, is directed by Dave Filoni, and everyone thinks that's the one that's going to involve Ahsoka and set up potentially a Rebel season 5. But we don't know. That, as Cameron said before, that's credit to the trailers for not showing much and basically only showing us glimpses of the first episode. So
that's one thing that these guys are good. They're good at like resurrecting so-called dead characters, Because
and I'm so happy it's in their hands because Dave Filoni has done Clone Wars and Rebels with George Lucas, and Jon Favreau knows what he's doing as well. I trust the guy. Like it's not involving the other woke stuff we've been accustomed to.
Yeah, and I mean, out of all the deaths to like bring someone back from, this is probably like the hardest one when you think about it. I mean, Maul got chopped in half. Palpatine got sent down a chute to hell, which occurs in every Star Wars fight. But do you know what I mean? Like, out of all the characters to bring back from the dead, like going into this weird monster, which Mando just got out of, I think they almost did that on purpose because he got swallowed by this big, weird monster thing, same as Boba Fett. They both come out of it essentially. So I think that's they kind of set the precedent for it just before they. I like that.
It's true.
Yeah, I think that's about it. We've talked about it. We're keen for the next episode next week. Obviously, we'll be here for sure again
Very
with
keen.
another review straight after. Anything you guys else want to discuss or say?
No, it's good. I'm just keen for the next episode.
Yeah, I can't wait.
For next week. To see where they take it.
Yeah, I honestly can't wait. But yeah, in terms of that, that's the first episode of Mandalorian season 2 being introduced today. Obviously, more people are going to be start to seeing it tonight as they wake up, like America or something in the morning for them.
Yeah.
I guess we get it later at night. Perfect time here in Australia, 6 o'clock at night. So it's perfect time to watch it. Dinner, then straight record.
On my work break.
Yeah.
Easy.
Easy. Yeah, but anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you to Cam and Nick. They'll be back next week, I'm sure, hopefully, unless something happens. But thank you for watching.
No, thanks for having us.
Thank you. Thanks for having us, yeah.
Star Wars is back, baby. Let's go.
Let's go.
Thank you.